Hi everyone, I'm Suki from globalbridge. It's National Apprenticeship Week and we're joined by Siemens to hear about the world of apprenticeships. So today I'm joined by several apprentices from Siemens and we're going to hear a bit about their journeys and why they chose to do apprenticeships, and hopefully everyone's going to go away knowing a bit more about apprenticeships. Could you go around and introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about what you do at Siemens?
I'm Callie McCarthy. I'm on the Finance and Commercial scheme. It's a 3-year rotational programme. In my second year, this year, I'm the Finance and Commercial contact for C-Train, which is our training solutions business at Siemens. And I kind of do like month-end activities, invoicing, cost allocation, and things like that.
Hi everyone, I'm Willow Fenner. I'm also on the same scheme as Callie, so the Finance and Commercial Academy scheme. I'm also a second year, and I'm an academy student, not a grad, and I am working in the digital industries business within Siemens. So I'm doing similar tasks to Callie, month-end activities, forecasting, budgeting, things like that. And I'm based in Manchester.
Hi everyone, my name's Oliver Jennings. I'm a second year degree apprentice in order management, working in the supply chain function at Conlington.
Great, thanks so much everybody. And my first impression, so something that's quite interesting, I imagine a lot of people watching this are thinking Siemens, an engineering company, right? And you're 3 apprentices that are doing different kind of apprenticeships. So it'll be interesting to hear more about that and how you found that role. So the second question, why did you choose an apprenticeship?
So for me, I actually was set on uni. So I was like, I'm going to go to university. That's what I wanted to do. Always wanted to do that. Didn't even question apprenticeships at all. And then I got there and I was like, I'm not really enjoying this. Didn't have any money. I was like, no, I'm not enjoying this. And I then started looking for apprenticeships to see what's out there. And then I found this one on the government website. And I applied to a couple, and then when we did the assessment centre and I got to see what it was like and the people and the opportunities there, I was like, oh, this is definitely for me. Like, I want to work and get the experience and learn, and I felt like I could get a lot more out of it than I did at university, but that's just kind of how I felt about it, and that's why I chose to do it.
I always wanted to do apprenticeships. I never wanted to go to uni. I did when I was younger, but when I have to go to college and things, I didn't really want to go. So I tried to look for some apprenticeships, and where I'm from Cumbria, so in the Lake District, and there's not much up there to do. So I wanted something out of my comfort zone, something within a city, something like uni, but not uni. So that's why I went for this apprenticeship. Also, it puts me ahead in my career, so for what I want to do. So I wanted to do things in finance, so I need to be chartered. So I'm currently studying my SEMA qualification, and whereas if I went to uni, I'd be 3-4 years behind doing that. So I could be fully qualified by 21, whereas if I went to uni, I would have just been delayed a little bit. So that's why I was using an apprenticeship.
Yeah, so for me, I sort of always knew apprenticeships was correct for me. I think when I was doing like A-levels, I loved business studies, but I would always look to apply my knowledge through like business examples. So I thought if I was working in a business, it would be a much better way for me to like progress my learning in supply chain.
So it's quite interesting that some of you were set on apprenticeships and you knew that was what you wanted to do, and then Callie, you always wanted to go to uni. So I think that leads quite well into the next question, and it'll be interesting to hear those different angles on this. But what surprised you the most about being an apprentice?
I was really shocked how kind of seriously they take you. I think when I used to think about apprenticeships and I'm like, oh, you're like, the lowest there, like, you're just kind of probably running around getting people's cups of teas or something. And now I've done it, I've realised like how invested they are in you, because you're the future of their company and they're investing a lot of money and a lot of like resources into you. So it made me realise like it's really important and they really care about you. And I was quite shocked about that. But it's been really good, really positive experience.
Yeah, I'm the same with Callie, to be honest. It was really surprising how actually invested people are with you. And And also, I think it was quite surprising how much responsibility you get. So, like, especially at the moment in my second placement, I'm emailing loads of people about financial information, like really important statistics that actually matter. Like, I'm not just sending emails out to kind of meet people or just for the sake of it. I'm actually telling people information that'll influence how they work, how their business works. So it was really surprising how much responsibility you are given. So, yeah, but just the same as Callie, just really, really positive about that.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me, like business responsibility, decision making that impacts the business. Like before an apprenticeship, I would have thought that would have gone to someone high up or had to go through multiple chains of command. There's a lot of decision making that an apprentice is trusted to do, but as long as it's correct for the business, which I think you are taught like what is right and what's wrong. So yeah, definitely the responsibility.
A lot of people, I imagine, they had similar impressions of maybe what an apprentice might be, running around making cups of tea and that kind of stuff. Maybe it sounds really different to that. So it sounds like you're actually working in the business. It's not like you're separate in your corner, doing sort of apprentice things, but you're involved in like day-to-day decision making in the company, and you've got a lot of responsibility as well. So on to the next question. What do you like about your role?
I know we've kind of touched on it, but like the responsibility I've been given. So actually last year I was in a different role, as in supply chain management and procurement. And something I was looking for this year was more responsibility. And now I'm like the person that the finance and commercial contact for part of the business. So that's something I look after, and it's really nice to have something that's my own that I can, keep an eye on. And that's what I wanted, and that's what I've got, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, again, it's kind of very similar to Callie. So a key thing that I really like, not just about the role, but about the scheme that we're on, is that we move around the business. So we do 3-year-long placements. So we're getting that exposure in different businesses, even like different kind of companies. So I worked in supply chain as well for my first year, but I was in Siemens PLC business, whereas I think Callie, you were in Siemens Mobility.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're both working in the DI business. So we've had that exposure of going from different businesses, which is really interesting to see how different businesses work and what they do on the day-to-day in different roles. And again, the responsibility, it's really nice to have your own thing to look after. So I understand what Callie's saying with now we've gone from a supply chain role into a financial role. You've got your set tasks and you've got your set things to look after. And I personally we have like review calls every month. So I like having that opportunity, that couple of minutes to just present what I've been working on to a wider team and people who are quite high up in the business. But that's something that I might not have been able to do if I wasn't on the scheme. So
yeah, a really simple one for me as well. It's definitely the responsibility and the work ethic of the people around you. I think Siemens does a good job in ensuring that after your apprenticeship, you're aware of what opportunities there are within Siemens. So it's not just like a 3-year apprenticeship and that's it. They paint a horizon for you.
So it sounds like with these apprenticeships, you're getting a real taster into the working world, I guess, that will help you to decide what you want to do after your apprenticeship. So it sounds like you get to work on real world projects. Are there any that stand out to you that you're particularly proud of and that you've been involved in recently?
So when I joined, one of the key tasks that I was asked to do, the responsibility was given to me to create a video, which sounds very random and very off the finance and commercial kind of side. But in supply chain, in the supply chain management UK team, we have a platform that they created called Collaborate, which is a virtual platform for suppliers. So it's basically a system where you can track your monthly reviews or quarterly reviews. You can track what was said, what goals were set, what objectives, what ideas, and you can track your progress throughout that. And it's just a way of bringing that collaboration from both the Siemens side and the supplier side. So it was quite new to the business. They piloted it a couple of years before, but it wasn't very big, but they were looking at selling it onto the wider Siemens team. So I was asked if I could create a promotional video for that. So I spent a few months working with the team, getting to know the platform, getting to know the team itself, how it works, what they wanted to showcase. and also have that communication with suppliers and get their opinions on it and if they found that it worked. So I spent a couple of months creating this video. It was only a couple of minutes, but it did take a long time to do because I'd never done anything like that before. And then, yeah, we created a successful video. It was promoted to our team. It was promoted externally. It included what Collaborate did, what it was about, why it would work, and then suppliers' testimonies. But that was something that I was really proud of because it was not only my first project, but it was something really out of my comfort zone, really creative. And I'd never used things like video editor or just Microsoft platforms that would help me create these videos. So yeah, that was a really proud project for me.
So a project that I've done recently was reducing export costs of finished goods to the material warehouse in Germany. So working on the project, I was partnered with a third-party logistics company, which is Renus, and I was able to secure a 75% reduction in the cost of goods receipt, which is how much it costs them to book in each pallet of products. So the reduction in cost was a significant proportion of the total cost saving of the project. But I think exposure to external partners, but also working within Congton and team members in Congton, it was a really good project to work on, and I'm really proud.
So something that I've been working on is updating the cost for cost allocation. So when the course takes place, I have to make sure those costs are allocated. They need to make sure they're up to date, to make sure that our profit margins are showing a better representation of how the business is performing. So I've made sure to collect data on what the trainers are charging, average length of the courses and attendees and stuff like that. So we can make sure the business is showing the correct profit margins and we know how we're performing.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. So it sounds like you're involved in a lot of really rewarding stuff as well. It was interesting to hear, Willow, that you got to do some video editing and kind of develop some skills that you'd never tried before. So it sounds like it's never boring from what I hear. You've always got something new to try. So that's us on to the last question now. So what advice would you give to anyone considering an apprenticeship with Siemens?
I've been at one of the assessment centres for the apprentices, and the main thing they're looking for is just kind of a willingness to learn, because they know you've just come out of college or wherever you are in life, and you might not have the skills or the knowledge that you think you need for it, but that's the point of the apprenticeship. It's to learn that, and they know that, and they want to help you grow them skills. So I think just show that you're willing and you're really motivated and this is something you want, and you'll go far.
Yeah, I think motivation is key. When you join the role, you're not pressured, you're not babied by a manager. You have to do everything off your own back. You have got the support of your team. However, if you're not willing to do your exams, to do your studying, to be proactive, then you're going to fall behind. So you just got to make sure that you are motivated and that you are enjoying it, really. I think people think because it's not uni, because you've got your 9 to 5, that's it. But you have got to put in the work. You've got to do your out of office studying and things like that. So yeah, I'd say be proactive.
I think apprentices aren't just a small stepping stone. They cost the business quite a lot of money, and so they want to benefit from you at the end. So trying to look for a future within the business or within whatever subject that you're studying is quite vital for the business. So it's sort of show a passion for the business and where you want to be after your apprenticeship, not just during it. So for example, I've decided that I want to start learning German. So after my apprenticeship, I can take on more of like a global role within supply chain. And that sort of boosts my profile in Siemens, and it definitely gives them an indication that I'm taking my apprenticeship seriously, but also what I want to do after my apprenticeship.
Thanks, everyone, and I hope that everyone watching this is going to go away with a bit of handy nuggets of wisdom that they've learned today about apprenticeships and about Siemens.